is a friend of ours. He was like, do you want to meet Roy Keane? Of course I want to meet Roy Keane. But does Roy Keane want to meet us? He brought us over and Roy Keane was like sitting with his back to us. So he was like whispering in his ear, the band want to say hello to you.
Like a James Bond body.
That's what it felt like. He was literally sitting with his back to us and a guy whispering in his ear. And then eventually I could see Alan say, no, it's picture this.
You were like, do you expect us to play, Mr. Keane?
Sippers get ready. When people get ready. Sippers get ready for tea with me.
Sippers, welcome to a hyped episode of the Tea With Me podcast with me, Shane Todd. Before we get into the nuts, bolts and everything else of this episode, let me take just a little minute to tell you the tickets are on sale for Tea With Me live in the Waterfront Hall. What a splendid venue for a splendid night. Dan, what date's that show? Just testing you in case you don't know.
Friday the 29th of November.
Friday the 29th of November. Mark that in the calendar. Halloween! Is it? It's not Halloween. It's not Halloween.
It's about a month later.
But it'll still be spooky. It'll be spookily good chat. Tea With Me live. If you saw the live one we did at the SSE Arena or the ones we've done before in the Waterfront Hall or the Limelight, you'll know it's a great time. We think Waterfront's a perfect place for this, so that's why we're doing it there. We're announcing one show and that's it. 29th of November. Ooh. Common Halloween gear. Tickets are on sale. The link is in the description for that. It's going to be a great time. You know, we've curated a great lineup for that with some surprises on the night. Also, I'm going to plug our Patreon, which is patreon.com/Tea With Me podcast. You can go back and watch literally hundreds of hours of bonus content, specials, live podcasts, live
mysteries.
Live Mysteries is on there. Me and Kieran Bartlett in fine form in Mandela Hall. Patreon exclusive. Go check that out. ShaneTodd.com. ShaneToddComedy.com. Come and see me do some stand-up live. I'll be at the SSE Arena myself in November. My tour may be on sale by this point. I've got some Irish gigs, some UK gigs, and there will be more further afield after that. ShaneToddComedy.com. We are sponsored by none other than Manscaped. You know these guys by now. They've been sponsoring this podcast since Pussy was a kitten. They have crazy wild products for what I would say men's grooming, the men's grooming world. They've got it sewn up. Right, I'm looking at some products here like beard oil, like lip balm, like the hedger. What even is that? That's up for shaving your head?
Yeah, a beard.
Shaving your beard? Oh, we got one up here. Look at this. Christ. Yeah, this is for shaving your beard. There's all different dials on that. If you like a wee 0.5, you like a 0.5. If you like a 2.5, if you like whatever, they have it. You could do your head with too, could you?
You give it a go.
You give it a go. Watch. Imagine I just do a Brittany right here, right now. They have the weed whacker for. Can I take us home? Yeah. They have
for your beard.
Yeah. Not all beards are visible. Have some respect. They have the weed whacker. They have just so many great products. Manscaped.com. Use the code Tea With Me for 20% off and free shipping. If it's for you, great. Also makes for a great gift. Let's get into this episode then. Picture this, guys. Me and Ryan Hennessy, the lead singer of Picture This, the front man of the band, sitting down for a chat. You will have heard songs by Picture This. They make great music. They're absolutely loved here in this part of the world. They're one of the biggest ticket selling bands in Belfast, I would say. Doesn't matter where in the world people are coming from, they won't outsell Picture This. The band are promoting their new album. I got a chance to have Ryan in the studio, and it was one of the most enjoyable episodes that we've ever done. Just such a laid back guy, easy to chat to. Very interesting story of how the band came together, because they kind of did it all in reverse, which will make sense when you see the episode. But a great guy. We're playing soccer together, I think. I have also just joined the band, as you'll see in the episode, which is pretty cool for them. But this was great. We could have done another hour, so we'll have to get Ryan and maybe some of the other guys from the band back for another episode. Please enjoy this episode of the Tea With Me podcast with my friend and yours, Ryan Hennessy, from the band Picture This. Can I just say, they are the wildest shoes I think I've ever seen.
Oh, really? Thank
Yeah.
you. I only got them yesterday.
Now you're acting like they aren't wild, so I'm wondering what shoes in your collection would you describe as wild?
Yeah, I actually don't consider them to be particularly wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they that wild?
Yeah. I mean, they're Doc Marten shoes with a leopard print. What would you say, like top half?
Yeah. And it is like fur as well.
Yeah.
So I guess that is pretty wild, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's
pretty
I
wild.
think that's wild.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something that's nothing to do with anything?
Yeah.
I'm wearing a pair of New Balance shoes, and I was backstage at a TV show taping like a year ago, and it was in London, and there was a comedian there talking about how London had become so gentrified,
Right.
and how much he hates white middle class comedians. And I quote, and I was sitting at a table getting my makeup done, and my feet were under the table. He goes, "All these cunts wearing New Balance," and I had to just sit in that table for like an hour until he left, so I could walk out.
Yeah, wow.
I hate that. No, I couldn't. I would love, like, that's a sort of, see, those shoes to me, right, are, I would love to wear a pair of shoes like that,
Yeah.
but I don't think I could.
Right.
And it's a bit like when I was at school, I didn't do drama,
Yeah.
but I would have loved to do drama.
All right, yeah.
So maybe I just need to buy shoes like that and wear them and I'll feel good.
Yeah, you just have to do it. I think I started doing it quite young.
Right.
So, but where I'm
Drama or wild shoes?
wild shoes.
Right.
I never did any drama.
Right.
The wild
But you
shoes
had the
are
shoes.
very dramatic. Yeah. But it was always weird for me because where I grew up, I grew up playing football. Like I was
Yeah.
never in music or drama or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
but I always dressed how I dressed. So
Right.
we'd be walking up to town and everyone else would be in like tracksuits, but
Yeah.
I'd be in like leather pants and have a weird haircut.
Yeah.
But I never realised it was weird. And neither did my friends.
You're playing football on the street in a velvet suit, three-piece suit.
Yeah. Have you seen that video of Lenny Kravitz this week wearing leather pants in the gym?
Yeah, doing like a
Insane.
weird.
Insane.
Actually, have you seen the video of Lenny Kravitz performing on stage when his dick falls out?
No, no, I haven't seen that.
It's so good. I said, please tell me someone else has seen this. We can maybe try and get it up for you. No pun intended. But oh man, it like,
Wow.
if I can remember right, some people will know this video I'm talking about. It like falls out because of the like leather pants he's wearing or something,
Right.
and it's like of course pierced. Of course,
of
it's
course it
pierced.
is. Yeah, of course, yeah.
But shout out to Lenny Kravitz, what a guy. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a Thai in Kildare. So we're-
Kildare is somewhere I've never played. I haven't really played too many places down south.
Really, yeah.
So I was just talking to your bandmate about Kilkenny. So I played there. I've done the festival,
Right, yeah.
but I don't think I've had any business in Kildare
I don't know if there's
Yet.
much of a scene, is there?
for
Around-
comedy.
Yeah.
Nah, maybe not.
I don't think there, like, because for me, even, because we've been doing just promo all day, and I was asking about, because I know that it's quite booming up here in terms of stand-up,
Oh
isn't it?
yeah.
Which is amazing. It's not really down, where I'm from, like, there was never any kind of stand-up comedy going on.
But I think from here's booming for music as well.
Big time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like you guys played, because my promoter I think promotes your shows up here as well, and he was talking about, I think you guys did like 2 SSEs,
Yeah.
and that's the kind of sales that like, okay, you're from not far away from here, but like a home city band would get, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's always been like that for us in the north, in Belfast.
Yeah.
Which is weird because for a lot of Irish bands, they don't translate very well.
Yeah.
Because we had like, say, the Coronas Irish band,
Yep.
who we would be opening for in the south, and then
Yep.
the first time we played the SSE was 2017, and they opened for us.
Right,
and it was
right.
a really weird
Yeah,
kind of thing that happened. But for whatever, it's actually our biggest market. The north of Ireland is bigger for us than the south.
But were you coming up here in the early days or anything, like playing shows? Like, is it something you'd always been pushing, or is it just like a
It just
random
happened.
thing?
Yeah, it happened naturally. We didn't push it. Like, we put on an Irish tour in 2016,
Right,
and I remember we added Belfast because we were like, nobody in the north is going to know who we are,
right.
because we were like, nobody outside of Leinster will probably know who we are.
Right.
And then we were playing like Cork and all that, and then Mandela Hall was the first show we played, and it was just wild. We just
Yeah.
couldn't believe that people knew who we were.
That was one of the first. That's what I would consider the first major venue I played.
Really,
Mandela Hall.
Mandela Hall, yeah.
It was great, the old Mandela Hall with a balcony, and
Yeah.
it was
Great
great.
venue.
Yeah, I think the first ever gig I saw in there was Calvin Harris. This is Lenny Kravitz's dick phone. Okay, sorry. Dan needs to compose himself.
Just give us a
He
second.
always gets a bit hot and bothered when this comes on. Like, yeah, this is the music equivalent of I don't know if you've ever seen on the subject of people's dicks falling out, Paul Scholes.
Yeah, I have
You've seen
that,
it's
yeah,
not a video,
yeah.
it's just a still image,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's fun.
That's
a
an incredible
fun image.
photo. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. I forgot about that actually. Haven't seen that in years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Kildare I don't think I have any business in, but that's wild that like this is your biggest market. Is it that people here I feel like people here love like live music, like the festivals we have, like Belsonic and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and Vital. It just feels like people love going out
Yeah, I
to see
think.
stuff.
Yeah, I think it is that. It's live music for us because we're going to play Belsonic in the summer and it's going to be our third time playing it, which
Yeah.
is like in a short space of time. You don't usually do that at festivals.
It's like 20,000 people.
Yeah,
22.
20,000. Yeah. When we started, it was like we opened for the 1975
Yeah.
in like 2016, and I think it was like 15,000 then. It was
Right.
just growing every year.
Yeah.
Because when we put it on this year and I seen it was 20,000, I was like, that's fucking insane.
I do a very good impression of the guy from 1975, but my sinuses are playing up at the minute, so I can't really do it.
Okay.
Just know that I can do
Okay,
it.
I trust that you can do it.
Ryan, I'm having like big sinus problems at the minute.
Really?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Everybody in this room has sinus issues.
Okay.
And I met a friend for lunch, Paul Hughes, who's an MMA fighter from Ireland. He's having sinus problems too.
Really?
So there's something. If
What's
you don't
going
have
on?
sinus problems,
Yeah,
consider yourself very lucky.
Yeah.
Sippers, this episode of the Tea With Me podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. How's your social battery? You know, a lot of people maybe running low at this time of year. Maybe people feeling like they don't have the energy they did at the start of the year. January's all about all these goals and that kind of thing. But just coming up to summer, it feels like now everyone's knackered. People are sick. I know I've been complaining about this sinusitis for ages, and it's got me a little bit down in the dumps. It can be easy to ignore how people are feeling right now, and maybe like a battery running low, you're always on the red. You're always just topping up that charge, but you're never getting up to 100%. Therapy can give you the self-awareness to build a social life that doesn't drain that battery. You know, maybe there's some people in your circle that have to go. Maybe that circle's got to get smaller. Whether or not you've been in therapy yourself, or you know somebody who has, it's a great way to go. You know, the great thing about BetterHelp is you don't have to actually go to a place in person. You can do it all online. You can learn positive coping skills, how to set boundaries, and it can empower you to be the best version of yourself. You can find your social sweet spot with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/teawithme today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/teawithme. Check out that website even if you want to read more about it. But thanks to them for sponsoring that, and check out betterhelp.com. That's not a threat, by the way, that I'm going to give you sinus problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's terrible. Like if I was the lead singer of a band, we would be in trouble.
It's my biggest fear.
Really?
Sinus problems.
Do you ever get this thing where you'll go on tour and you'll be well the whole way through it, and as soon as the tour ends, you get sick?
Yeah, happens every time. Every single time.
That's weird, isn't it?
It is weird.
And like on stage, you would never like have a coughing fit or need to sneeze,
Yeah.
need to piss.
Your body just looks after you in a weird way like that.
That is weird.
It's always, yeah, I get that really, really bad after
What's the
tours.
sickest you ever had to do a show?
I remember when we played, it was very early on, we played Trinity Ball in Dublin. And I remember myself and Jimmy from the band were both like, I remember he was wearing 3 jackets on stage. That's what I remember, because he was so ill.
Right.
And he was like, I need to be as warm. And it was an outdoor show at like 1 a.m, like
Right.
a graveyard show.
Yeah.
And I remember that just being like one of the worst I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah, 3 jackets is wild.
It's that's when you know you're really ill.
Yeah, like I think even 2 jackets is like what?
It's too much.
Huge. Yeah.
it
But
is.
3 is insane.
3 is crazy.
I can't ever remember being like properly sick. I did a show in Boston with that Michael was at, and I remember feeling like 10 minutes into it, I just got sick. I had that feeling in my
Right.
head of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I've
yeah,
just got sick,
Right.
which was terrible.
Yeah.
But like usually, I don't know. You with stand up, you can sort of get through it.
I think, yeah. What's the adrenaline like as a stand up? Because I know
Yeah.
for me because I remember we were playing somewhere weird, like I can't remember where it was. It was like Montana or somewhere weird in America. And I remember being asleep 3 minutes before going on stage
Right.
on a couch, but then being on stage and being so full of energy.
Feeling great. Some people, John Cleese, sleeps before shows.
Really, yeah.
Apparently.
I kind of get it, you know.
See, I'm a very cranky post-nap guy.
Oh, right, okay.
I can't nap
Really?
notoriously. Like
Okay.
I'm famous for not napping.
Right.
I'm not, but but I just can't nap. Like I wake up like really out of sorts,
All right.
really discombobulated.
Yeah.
Like I won't even know I'm like, you know, the guys they say in Vietnam they didn't even know the war was over,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
ended
yeah.
years ago and they come out of the bush.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I sleep for more than 8 minutes, and
Right.
woo, I'll make
Yeah.
that noise. And I remember going away on a school trip. We got back at like 3 p.m. I went straight down to my granny's house, fell asleep on the couch for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Woke up, it was 6:20. This is when I was like 12 years old. It's like 6:20 p.m. And I thought that it was a.m. I thought I'd slept all night.
Oh, all right.
And I got really, sort of character for me, I got really like cross with my granny that she'd let me sleep. Bear in mind, I just slept for like a couple of hours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I stormed out and was like, I have school in a couple of hours. And I walked, it was like a 1 mile walk up to my house.
Right.
And there was like people out and about at 6:20, but my brain failed to say,
Right.
could we consider that it is you just slept for a couple of hours?
Yeah.
But then my head was so fucked because I was like, why are all these people out in the morning?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so that's why I don't nap.
Yeah,
I never
you-
would before a show.
You probably shouldn't nap before a show then, yeah.
Let's see Lenny Kravitz dick fall out. Here we go. He's killing it, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
Did it come out there?
yeah. Look, he
Oh
goes for
my
a deep squat, and the
that
leather
is
trousers
crazy.
pop.
Holy shit.
And I look, he's such a pro because he knows that's happened, and he's sort of like tucking it in.
Yeah. I feel like that just happens to him all the time, probably.
Yeah. Do you think he gets the seam very weak
Yeah.
as he goes on?
probably,
Yeah, yeah.
He wants it to happen. You
Yeah,
can
that's
tell.
like.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Wow. I'm gonna try that at Balsonic this year. See how it goes.
Yeah, that's nuts. I feel like though, like that's just Lenny, you know.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what everyone said at the time, was like that's just Lenny.
Yeah.
It's just what he does.
Balsonic will be that's almost like a home show for you then, because of how
Yeah.
popular the band is in Belfast. And
Yeah, it feels like that. It always does. Like, we started in Mandela Hall, then we went to the Waterfront,
yeah,
and then the next show was SSE, and then we did Botanic Gardens,
yeah,
and then back to SSE, and Balsonic in between. And all of those shows, they actually do feel like the home show,
yeah,
because we're from Kildare, so we don't have a home show necessarily,
right,
because we play Dublin, Cork, Belfast now. At
Yeah.
this point, it's kind of the only three you can play.
yeah.
But Belfast does feel like the home show.
I kind of feel like that as well in Dublin. I feel very welcomed,
Really,
not
yeah.
unwelcomed in other places, but I did the Olympia last year,
Right.
and and I hadn't done a show like that anywhere outside of Belfast
Yeah.
of that size,
Yeah, yeah.
but it felt very like I was just at home.
All right. What's the
great.
scene like in Dublin, comedy-wise?
It used to be the place where we were so jealous of because they had comedy 7 nights a week,
All right.
and now it's still like there's some great comics there and good clubs, but it feels like pound for pound the scene here is a lot better. I don't think
Yeah.
there's a competitiveness between the scenes
Yeah, yeah.
anyway, and things go up and down, so it'll probably get better again and
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I love Dublin. I was down seeing John Mayer last week.
All right. Tree Arena.
Yeah, I was tweeting him trying to get his shirt.
Really? Were you?
Yeah, because it was
Right.
the end of it was his last show of the tour,
Okay.
and he's got cash like
And shirts.
and shirts.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I just fired him a tweet. You know, I was like, John,
Can
if
I
it's
have a
possible, could I didn't want to meet him or nothing weird. I just wanted a shirt.
shirt? Okay. Yeah.
Like I just thought he could leave it
Yeah.
in the hotel. I'd go pick it up.
And how'd it go?
He's yet to reply.
Okay.
He's left Ireland obviously, but
It's just busy. He'll get
yeah,
back, he'll
but
get back
he
to
might have left it somewhere.
you. Yeah. he
Have you had
probably-
any weird, not like fan requests, but like, has anyone left anything for you? You know, like in the changing room, like.
Yeah. It happens in Europe a lot, where you
Right.
get like stuff baked for you, and you're just like, it's just too risky to ever eat.
You
it.
can't do
You know,
that.
You just can't do it.
Especially I'm celiac,
You
so
you
like
definitely
that's crazy that I would do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't eat that.
No, it's always going to be a risk. I've
And
had to
is it
sign
like-
some weird stuff.
Is it like well baked stuff, or
Yeah,
is
it always looks really good. That's the issue. It's like,
But is it like tailored? Is it like a picture of this
Yeah.
kind of cake, or is it just like a nice cheesecake?
it's like, yeah, it's always like little drawings of us and stuff that doesn't look anything like us, but you can
Yeah.
tell it's pictured as,
Yeah.
which I just definitely don't want to eat. But
Yeah.
in terms of weird stuff, I remember I had to sign a safe pass for a guy before. He
What's a
was
safe
like,
pass?
safe pass is like what you get when you first start working on a building site. You need one
Right.
to work on a building site.
Right.
And there was like a queue of people outside a show, I actually think it might have been in Belfast.
Probably.
And he came up, and there was people like getting us to sign their shirts and stuff, and he was like, "Can you sign my safe pass?"
Right.
And I was like, "Is this going to make this like invalid if like
Yeah,
Ryan
yeah,
Hennessy is
yeah.
written across your?" But he made me do it, and then at another like CD signing, I signed a prosthetic leg,
Oh, that's great.
which that he literally took it off and handed it to me.
Was he the amputee?
He
Was it
was
for
the
a friend?
amputee. Yeah, he
Right.
took it off himself. He didn't take it off someone else. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but they might have wanted him to.
Oh right.
You know, I don't mean he went up to him and was like, "You give me that fucking leg right now."
For all I know,
Then weirdly returned. Don't worry, it's been signed.
I sorted it out for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the weirdest thing I've signed for
Yeah.
sure.
Did he have other signatures on it?
No, it was like a brand new. I was the first one. That's a lot of pressure as well.
That's so much pressure.
It is.
Like you would get. I remember you would get your like cast signed.
Yeah,
You know, that was like a thing.
which makes sense.
But you had to get loads.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I went into school seeing that like when people broke their leg, everybody signed it. I wasn't very popular in school, so I just had like a couple of signatures on it. And like I was getting like teachers to do it to make up the numbers and like faking a few.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my cousin, mentioned no names, broke his leg whenever we were like teenagers, and somebody was like, "Give me a marker, I'll sign the bottom of your foot where
Right.
the cast is," and wrote what I would describe as a horrifically political message
Oh wow.
on the
okay.
bottom of my cousin's foot, and no one had the balls to tell him for quite a while.
Wow.
If he rested his foot in public, he would have got arrested. It was terrible. It was
Wow.
real bad.
Yeah.
I think if I had a prosthetic leg, I think I would. I mean, sometimes you see people with like the cool design ones,
Yeah.
you know, but I think I'd probably go like beige coloured.
Yeah, his was like pretty plain. It was like
Yeah.
a mahogany leg.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how heavy it was.
Wooden?
I doubt it was. It looked wooden. It had like
Right.
a wooden finish, but I guess I don't know what are them legs made out of. I have no idea.
I'd say like you get like a graphite and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was it was it was heavy. It was heavy. I don't know if it's graphite, but it was fucking heavy.
That's always my thought. That God forbid if I ever lost a leg, I would hope I could get a graphite replacement.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. Oh, I've never done that, but I had I think I talked about it on a pod a while ago, but maybe it was a live pod, so it wasn't on this. But the eBay people. So when I went to Australia, I did a gig last year, my first time touring Australia, and there were these like middle-aged people outside the hotel. I was picking them at Uber Eats like 2 hours for the show,
Right.
and they were like, "We can't wait to come and see Shane Tall. We can't wait to come and see your show. Will you sign this?"
Oh right.
And
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, fucking buzzing. I'm like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
And there's a guy there in like a floral shirt, very distinctive looking guy in a very distinctive shirt. He goes, he has a camera, right? He
Right.
goes, "Do you want to say anything to your Australian fan base?" And I was like, "It might just be you, mate." He doesn't laugh, so I'm like, I thought he would love that.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm like, "Yeah, I just want to say cheers, everybody. Delighted to be here. Couple more signatures." Got into my car, and the driver was like, "They're the eBay people." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "They'll sell that." I
Yeah,
went,
yeah.
I guarantee you they won't.
That is a weird hobby to have, isn't it?
Because in Oslo, Copenhagen there, a couple of weeks ago, outside the venue, there's people waiting for me. Now, I was doing like Copenhagen, I was doing 50 cap room.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So these people are outside and they're like, "Shane Todd, will you sign this?" And I said to William, my opener who was travelling with me, I was like, he goes, "This is great." I went, "They're eBay people." And I said, "Are you looking forward to the show?" And they were like, "Oh, we can't make it." I was like, "It's
Oh, right.
weird though that you're outside the venue."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, "Who will I make it out to?" And they were like, "Oh, I'll leave it blank." And I went, "Okay." So I signed it as William Thompson, my friend. Just like
That's a good
blatantly
move.
wrote his name. And
Yeah,
they were like,
yeah.
"Oh, thanks."
Yeah.
Just walked off.
It's a weird thing, isn't it?
How lucrative can that be?
I know. Do you know where's mad for it? Is Germany. They are crazy for it. Anytime we play, the weird thing I find there is that they have photos of me that I've never seen before.
Right, like you're sleeping and stuff.
Yeah, in my bedroom. Yeah. It's always really unsettling. I don't know where they get. It's always like an outtake from a shoot,
Right.
and I don't know
right.
where they get them because it's not like a Getty image thing.
Do you just sign it to just get them
Yeah,
away?
just sign it. Yeah, we had it in Switzerland recently as well. We came out the back of a radio studio, and there was a guy. It was like spilling rain, and there was a guy. It was like a movie. He was just standing in the rain with his hood up, with a photo of us, and he didn't have great English, so he just kind of mumbled something.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, we just knew what he wanted,
Right.
and came over, and it was a photo I've never seen before, and he was just like, "Thanks." He didn't want any sort of interaction. He just wanted the signature.
Because the same guy in the shirt, the floral shirt, this year when I did Australia, we land in Perth. He's there.
Same guy.
And I went, oh fuck.
Right.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 was on my flight. He his fandom for me
No way.
has ended.
Yeah.
And he went straight to Rob Thomas and I was
Right.
like, fuck.
Yeah, he didn't sell that first and third one then, clearly.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the bigger prize, Rob Thomas.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed with Rob Thomas. I was like,
Yeah.
how dare you?
Yeah.
He was on my flight. I couldn't believe it. I'm a big fan of Matchbox 20.
I actually don't know them. I know I've heard of Matchbox 20 and Rob
He
Thomas.
sings
but-
Smooth with Santana.
Oh, that's that Rob Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
yeah. But they don't have any other big songs, do they? Matchbox 20. Are we going to get into an argument now? That's the only one I know is the Santana one.
Push.
Never heard of it.
If you're gone. If you're gone, baby, it's time to move on.
Never
This is
heard
with sinus problems.
Yeah.
Uh, 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. I must be lonely.
Never heard it. What era are we talking here? When did
Every
these-
year.
Really? He's that
Yeah.
consistent?
Like 90s, noughties. Yeah. What's the other one I like? Woman, what it's like to be a superhero. Sorry, hold on one sec. I fucking don't know the name of that. They've hits.
I had
Coming
no
out of
idea.
their ears.
I only know that one song, honestly. Wait, but didn't he do something recently? Rob Thomas. He did like something recently with some artist. Can you look that up?
Rob is
possibly?
always working on projects.
I remember seeing him with like a modern artist doing something,
Right.
and it was, I can't remember who it was, but he definitely did something recently. But that,
So I said to my mate William on the flight, I went, when you see, it was one of those big planes
right?
going from Dublin to Doha and then to Perth.
Yeah.
I went, there's a bar at the back of the plane. I went, if you see Rob Thomas, go to that bar, wake me up. Let's go chat. And I would never normally do that.
Yeah.
But I love Rob Thomas,
Right.
unlike you. Right?
Yeah. I hate Rob Thomas, just for the record.
This beef. It's gonna be in hot press
Yeah.
by the weekend.
Get us on the box and me and Rob Thomas.
I wouldn't do that to you because Rob has hands, right? But we're on the plane, and then I took melatonin. I don't know if you've ever taken this
Yeah.
for the flight.
Yeah.
And then I went for a piss like 4 hours into the flight. Rob Thomas was holding court.
Okay.
He was chatting to everybody. He had his friends with him. He's chatting. He's regaling them with tales.
Yeah, I love that.
And I had like bad head. I'd slept. My eyes were like glazed shut. You know what I'm like with a nap.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I had a long nap.
Right.
So I just chickened out of it. I was like, I can't.
Really?
Because if I'd gone just to have a cider or whatever, or even a Coke Zero, I would have got into conversation with
A
Rob
Coke
Thomas.
Zero would have sorted you right out
But
there.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I was raging.
I would have went up and had a go. Been like, Rob Thomas.
Yeah.
I've always hated you from my whole life. I'm so glad to finally meet you.
But then, like, I woke up after a while and got myself composed, did my hair. I was like, maybe we'll go see if Rob Thomas is there.
Yeah.
Passed out in the seat.
Oh, really?
He got stuck into the red wine. Like,
Yeah.
he got stuck into it.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or melatonin on a flight, really.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Never both.
Never, but no.
Have you got, like, you ever been at a gig or a festival or anything, got a bit like, whoa, freaked out by a person?
I get it more with sports people, I think.
Oh, yeah. See,
Go-
I'd be the same.
Yeah. It's like that, isn't it, when it's someone that's not in your field? It's
Yeah.
like, because I'm a United fan.
Same.
So we had, when Lee Miller passed away,
Yeah.
they had a game from down in Cork.
In Cork, that's right.
Yeah. And we just really wanted to go, so I asked my manager, could he get us tickets? And he said, he called back and he was like, do you want to play at the event? And I was like,
This is my
Yes.
thing too.
yeah, yeah, do you know what I mean?
Playing in these things.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you play?
Yeah, we
Did you
played.
start?
No, sorry, we didn't play the match. We played for them that night.
Ah, yeah.
But I've always wanted to play. I want to play soccer really, really bad. And all of the... Oh,
That's my mission at the minute.
me too.
The one thing we disagree on is Rob Thomas. Everything else lines up.
yeah.
So Soccer Aid is on my birthday.
Oh, is it really?
9th of June. It's
Okay.
on my birthday.
Wow, okay.
I play football.
Yeah.
I played last year against Liverpool legends.
Oh, did you?
McAteer, Pennant,
Wow.
others.
Hate all them as well.
John Aldridge was playing.
John Aldridge. Hate John Aldridge.
Did I score? Yes.
You did score?
Yeah, from a yard and a half.
Okay.
But then in the summer there, played against Man United legends. Poborski. Gillespie, Stam,
Wow. Those first two are not legends.
Wes
by the way,
Brown.
but- okay.
Paul Parker,
Paul
Brian
Parker.
McClare.
Wow. Okay. There's some legends in there for sure.
Now, I played up front. Yap Stam was at centre back, so he's marking me.
How was that?
Not a great day for him. It's hard to break the spirit of one of your idols.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But there's a video knocking about. So from time people like leak it. I'm always like, guys, stop posting this video. But people hack into my account and post the video of basically don't matter around, but guy from our team sort of cuts one across the box. Yap Stam sees me coming in. I give him the eyes. Bury it bottom left.
Okay, wow. Can you send me that video? I'd love to see it.
Yep.
Okay. Get the people to hack into your
I'll
phone.
see if I can get it,
and send it.
but
yeah.
I might have it readily available. It was
Yeah.
honestly the best feeling I've ever had. Nearly,
I can imagine it would be.
it was so good.
Yeah.
Like Wes Brown, Yap Stam
That's
playing
crazy.
centre back. We're playing against them.
So who are you playing for?
There was like a comedians team. There was a charity. It was a whole charity event.
Right.
So we had a comedians team. They did 3 halves basically. I played for all 3 teams.
Okay.
At these
Okay,
things, I'm
right.
no crack at all.
Yeah,
People are like, "So you're gonna have a laugh here?" I'm like, "No, we're not. We're not here to have a laugh."
Yeah, yeah.
Kilkenny Festival
Right.
used to have this football match on the last day of the festival.
Okay.
This was when like the Irish comedy scene, I would say, was on a huge boom.
Yeah.
And the last day of the festival, they'd have a match in Kilkenny, and thousands of people, like 1,000 people, might go to it.
Right.
And it was great. It would be like DJ'd and all these big names, and it was Ireland versus rest of the world.
All right.
I remember on the Saturday night of the festival, everybody was drinking. Kevin Bridges, Tommy Tiernan, all these huge acts, and we're on like a comedian's hospitality tent. And I remember being like, "Why are these guys drinking? We have a match." And I was
That's
say the
insane.
match was like 1:00 kickoff.
Yeah.
I was there at like 12:15
Right.
until 10:01. There was nobody else there.
Really?
I'm warming up like I'm doing my drills. Doing
I think
everything.
I'd be the same, you know.
I live for that shit.
Yeah.
Hit a 30-yard free kick pass. You know John Richardson does 8 out of 10 cats.
Yeah. But he was in goals.
Yep,
Wow.
straight over his head.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I live for it.
Yeah.
What can we do to progress our chances of soccer?
I'm trying to, because I know some, like Robbie Keane is a good friend of mine. He plays in it. I'm trying to think of who I know.
Have you made direct contact? I've tried going through Jimmy Nesbitt.
Right, no, I'm not with Soccer Aid, no, but I've said it to Robbie a couple of times.
Yeah.
Who else have I've said it to a couple of people. I've tried before and failed, because I haven't played in any games like that.
What
Ever.
can we do for them? That's what I'm thinking. We need an angle where we're like, if you let us play, we'll do this.
Yeah. We can get Rob Thomas to do halftime entertainment.
We get Lenny Kravitz to get his dick out. If that helps the cause.
Yeah, I think it would.
Man, how great would that be? Do you think if at Soccer Aid at Wembley or Old Trafford, Old Trafford they do it now? Say it's Old Trafford, right? You get through 1-on-1 with the keeper, and the keeper is, say, Edwin van der Sar.
Yeah.
No, we be playing against England, right? So the keeper's
Yeah.
David James,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You're 1-on-1. Can you do it? Can you finish?
Can I finish? I think I could do it. I think I could do it.
How buzzing would you be to get back to the dressing room and see the photos?
Yeah, that's all you'd be able to think about after.
The IG post.
The viral clip.
Oh, the
my
IG post.
God. That is the stuff of dreams, isn't it? It really is.
I would,
Yeah.
because they don't have like Dermot Kennedy's played in it a good few years.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of like decent representation on the rest of the world team from the south.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
What are we?
Yeah.
It should say in the Good Friday Agreement, one of us gets to play in Soccer Aid every
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Kilty had it sort of for years.
Yeah, because he used to play in goals, didn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I would give anything to play, because I've never got to play in anything like that.
Yeah.
But that night with the class of '92, we had a night out with them that night, and it's honestly the best night of my life, and also the first time I've ever felt starstruck.
Yeah.
In terms of, they all came into the hotel lobby, and my knees were like weak.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
now I know
Yeah, yeah.
that feeling.
Who was the person you were most not intimidated by, but who was the person that like made you feel the most?
I think it's between, because Roy Keane was there as well.
Keno, yeah.
It was Roy Keane. I have a great Roy Keane story, and then I'm named after Ryan Giggs, which didn't age very well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was great at the time. It was great at the time. He was my hero growing up.
Maybe say like Seacrest or something.
Yeah.
Even though he's like probably a couple of years older than us.
Yeah, I think that was amazing seeing him.
Your parents love Ryan Seacrest when he was like 10.
Yeah,
Like not famous at all.
yeah. They just knew him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was crazy because John O'Shea is a good friend of mine.
Right.
And he was able to introduce us to them all. So that was like, it was amazing because we were going up and just playing like a couple of acoustic songs.
Yeah.
And then we were sitting at this table and we were having a few drinks, and John O'Shea got Ryan Giggs to come over to our table and like have a go at us. So he came over and was like, why are you drinking? Yeah, having Ryan Giggs have a go at you is not that never
Straight
ends
away,
well.
Giggs, he was like, yep.
Yeah, I'll do it. I didn't even ask. He was like, I'm going to do it. And he did. He came over. He's like, why are you drinking? I thought you were playing. He thought you were supposed to be playing. We thought he was serious for a second, but he was very nice to us.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
And but Roy Keane was. What were you going to say? So
I was like, if you were his brother, it'd be totally wrong.
Different story. Yeah. Roy Keane, we had, so the guy who was like organising it, Alan, he's a friend of ours. He was like, do you want to meet Roy Keane? And I was
Imagine you were like, nah, it's all good.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
of course I want to meet Roy Keane.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but does Roy Keane want to meet us? Is the question I highly doubted. And then he brought us over, and Roy Keane was like sitting with his back to us. And Alan said he was like whispering in his ear, and I was like kind of reading what he was saying, and he was like, the band want to say hello to you. And Roy Keane thought that we were just some random band that were like playing in the hotel pub or something. And then he said no originally.
So he's doing like a judge on The Voice.
Yeah, he literally
Style
was sitting,
scenario.
yeah, he had a buzzer.
Yeah. Or like a James Bond body.
Yeah, he was
Turn around, Keno has the white cat.
That's what it felt like. He was literally sitting with his back to us and a guy whispering in his ear. And then eventually I could see Alan say, no, it's picture this who have come to, and then he was like, okay, I'll say hello to them. And he got up and he turned around. It was myself and Jimmy from the band. Shook his hand and he said hello, and it was like the hardest handshake ever, like crushing my fingers.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy kind of made a little bit of small talk to him, and he said, are you having a good night? And Roy Keane just looked at him for like 15 seconds and then did that like Roy Keane devious smile and just said, what do you think? And then Jimmy was like, I don't know. And he just said, I'd rather be at home with my dogs. Nice to meet you. And turned around and sat back down. And we just walked away. And I was like, that's exactly how I wanted to meet Roy Keane. That's exactly what I wanted from that. I wouldn't have wanted him to be nice. You know?
You were like, do you expect us to play, Mr. Keane? Yeah, that's the interaction you want to have with him.
It is like
just a quick interaction. Don't embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah. And get that little bit of like, not banter, but get that little attitude from him. Was
some great friend of the pod, good friend of mine, Chris Kent, comedian from Cork.
Right.
Chris is one of the funniest comedians in Ireland. Obviously loves Roy Keane, being from Cork. He was doing a gig in Manchester, Chris, a couple of months ago.
Right.
Keno came to the gig.
No way.
Yep.
Wow.
After the show, it's a small venue called the Frog and Bucket in Manchester.
Right.
They were like, Keno's in. Chris went out to speak, like, say hello, obviously get the photo with Keno at your show.
Yeah.
But Keno had been noticed at that point, so he just gave a quick like, right, Chris, really enjoyed the show, shook his hand, had to leave.
Oh, right, okay.
But out of everyone to come to see you do a show,
that's the best one, isn't it?
that's the best.
Do you know what's mad about? I thought that everybody in Cork loves Roy Keane, but it's so divided. It's really divided.
Because of the even the World Cup.
Yeah, because we played Cork Opera House down there years ago, and when the only thing on our rider is like a football, and somebody got wind that we were United fans, so there was like loads of Man United stuff, and the guy who was like security on the door came in and just like went off on one about Roy Keane, and I was so confused. I thought
Plus,
everybody loved him.
You really just want to be like, look, mate, just fuck off. But if he's a security guy,
Yeah,
probably a big guy.
Yeah, he was.
You're like, yeah, he's a traitor.
I was like, yeah, I hate him too. Yeah. Fuck Roy Keane and Rob Thomas. I hate both of those guys.
So I'm doing Cork Opera House for the first time later this year,
Incredible.
which hasn't been announced. But can I just ask for football stuff?
Yeah. Well, we ask. You get a rider. Do you get a rider at your shows?
Yeah, but could you just put the phrase football
stuff? Yeah. We just ask for a football, and then usually they give us like they just end up giving you more stuff.
Little sponge ball.
No, like a good football.
Where are you playing with that though?
Just around like if we're in an arena, we just kick around the arena. So when you're playing the SSE, ask for a football.
I just want a sponge
Okay,
one.
yeah.
I'd be too scared of breaking something.
Yeah, it is dodgy.
Yeah.
It is dodgy. And in the dressing room, it gets really dodgy because when you're doing keepy uppies around all of the fucking shit,
Yeah,
it does,
yeah.
It gets dodgy.
Have you had like anyone weird at a show, like an Ainsley Harriott, like somebody like that? Basically, what I'm trying to say is, has Ainsley Harriott ever been to one of your shows?
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Whiskey and an omelette or anything like that?
Have we? I think we're actually quite lucky in terms of like we haven't had any sort of. I remember playing in the garage in London, and we were standing backstage having a debrief after. Like we were just, I would say, like 90 seconds off stage, and we
Right.
were like sweating, like just all standing up in the room talking. And then these two girls burst into the dressing room, and we like turned around, and they were more shocked than we were.
Right.
So we just had a standoff of like 10 seconds of both looking at each other,
Yeah.
and then the security just got them in a headlock
Right.
and just took them outside. It was the same guy from Cork.
Yeah.
But that was a really weird. I remember that just being like, did that really just happen?
Yeah.
But do you know what the maddest dressing room thing is? Is we were playing in New York in like 2017, and we were pulling up to the venue, and Owen from the band was driving the van, and he went to pull in, and he basically shattered. The bus had like a window, the whole length of it.
Yeah.
And he shattered it on like a truck wing mirror,
Right.
and I was just covered in glass. It was an explosion.
Yeah.
And we spent then the next like 30 minutes trying to like sweep up the glass on the side of the road and all this. And as we were doing this, the most American person I've ever met in my life comes by, and he starts like asking us loads of questions. He's like, "Are you playing in here tonight?" We're like, and he's like, "Can I come?" And we were like, "We're trying to fucking clean up here."
Yeah.
Yeah, here's tickets. So we gave him tickets.
Right.
And then walked out on stage later that night, sorted out the van, and the front row was like a bunch of like 20-year-old girls. And then this one guy who's like 6'2", bald guy, knew none of the lyrics,
Yeah.
but was the most enthusiastic person
Right.
I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And then that was cool. He just kind of disappeared, thought that was the end of him. And then we went up to the dressing room after, and he was standing in our dressing room. I was like, how the fuck did this guy get in our
Yeah.
dressing room? And then our record label introduced him as, guys, this is Greg Alexander from the New Radicals, who have that song. You know that song?
You get what you give?
Yeah. And he also wrote Murder on a Dance Floor. He wrote that song. It was him.
Stop. He wrote that?
Yeah, he wrote that song.
Get What You Give is one of the best songs of my youth.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That is a
song.
criminally underrated song.
Yeah.
That is such a feel-good song.
Yeah.
And I actually, when I was working on last year's stand-up show, I listened to that quite a bit because the lyrics of it make total sense.
Yeah, yeah.
You do get what you give.
Yeah, yeah, you do. He was right.
Or you give what you get. Hold on.
You get what you give.
You get what you give is right.
Yeah, you get back from it what you give to it. Is that what you mean?
Yep.
That's deep.
It is.
But he was right.
He was. We bucket hat. You run about.
He was
Shopping centre and we bucket hat in the video.
Yeah, that's the video, innit? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He wrote Murder on the Dance Floor.
He wrote Murder on the Dance Floor.
Why was he at the show?
He was just walking by. He was just literally walking by.
Oh, he was the guy at the van.
Yeah, he's the guy at the van. Are you with me?
You get what you give. He gave you guys a little bit of chat. He got tickets to the show.
He gave us a fucking headache.
Did you get? Was he a nightmare after?
He was fucking insane, but
Really?
in the best way. Like, because when we came
Did he
up,
immediately say who he was?
no, he never addressed it. So, like when we were on the street giving him tickets, and when he was front row, I just thought he was a random guy. And
Right.
then when we came up, our record label turned around and were like, "Here's Greg Alexander," and we were like, "Oh fuck!"
Oh,
I
you knew
know.
him from that name?
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, "Fuck," because he's an amazing songwriter. He's written loads of great tunes. And then he proceeded to berate our record label for like 40 minutes on how they should be taking care of us and doing. Like, bear in mind, we had a 10-second conversation with him.
Yeah.
He was like, these guys deserve this, these guys deserve that, and he was just having a full-blown argument in the smallest dressing room ever with our record label. And then he was doing one of my favorite things where one of the guys from our label kept saying, "Listen, Greg, I know you're an amazing singer," and he kept saying, "and songwriter and mixing engineer and master." And I was like,
Yeah.
He did that like 10 times. It was amazing. Every time he said it, I was like, actually, I do a lot of stuff. But yeah, he just went on a tirade for 40 minutes and then like gave us all high fives and left.
And that's it.
That was it. Never seen
Never
him
seen him again.
Never heard from him. Never seen him again.
Wild. I'd love him to come to a show. So when I'm playing New York, January next year,
Yeah,
I'll
crash your
just
bus
fucking
outside.
break a window.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he appears.
He'll
That's
show
what he
up.
does.
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
In a bucket hat.
yeah, yeah.
I love that.
He's a legend. He was great energy. Like,
That's
just
great.
insane. I love people like that are just insane. It's
Yeah.
like a show. It's like you're watching a show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. It was like Andrew Ryan earlier. He put on a show for us on Key Radio.
Yeah, because if you said to Andrew, oh, he's a great comedian, he'd say, and radio presenter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a low-key decent Andrew, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Andrew's
That was
wild.
good.
You went there to do a bit of, you were Q doing a bit of promo earlier
Yeah.
with
And
Andrew. And he thinks he's part of your band now, right?
He does, yeah. He literally, as we were leaving, I was told that he's joining us on stage at Balsonic.
Well, what does he want to do? Play
He
tambourine?
wants to play the shaker. Because we had a
Listen, don't bring him in. It's like you know, like bringing a wolf to, like, keep the wolf outside the door.
yeah.
Because if he gets in, he's in.
Yeah.
Like, he will go on tour with you guys.
It felt like that today already.
And you'll wake up from one of your famous naps.
Yeah,
and he'll
yeah.
just be like there at your eyes. He's taking the photos for the eBay.
Yeah,
people.
yeah. He probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was. I thought he was great. Crack.
So he wants to at Belsonic. He wants to play with you guys.
He told us he is playing with us. Apparently he gets back from Spain the day before. He told us. I think that's a lie.
He's on Skyscanner cutting his holiday short. What you should do, you know, it'd be really nice if he genuinely does want to do that. Let me do it instead.
Do you know what?
Bring him.
Yeah.
I mean it.
Yeah.
Bring him
Yeah.
that day. Lay on a buffet for him. Give him access. Let him play with your football.
Yeah. Yeah.
And seconds before the gig,
Yeah.
be like, there's only one man to play this shaker. Give it to me.
Yeah. I think we should actually do that.
What can I? If he's playing the shaker, what can I do? Can I be honest? Right.
Yes.
We do live stream episodes of this podcast on Fridays, and we start doing a karaoke club at the end.
Okay.
I shock people.
Really? I've seen you do a great impression of Paolo Nutini somewhere, have I?
Yeah.
Yeah. But can you sing in your own voice, or you only do impressions?
I mean, that's a big question.
Well, let's find out about Sonic.
I can. My impressions are legendary, right? So yeah, you're right. Like Palatini, Shaggy,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
you
there's-
could do a compilation and come out and do a compilation of people.
No, I think you're right. I think people need to hear my. This is the time for people to hear my voice.
Your true voice.
I don't know. Like, do we do a song?
I think the thing with like today with Andrew, it was like we love doing anything like that. So we were like,
I love this. Yeah, but I don't want to do a fun thing.
you want to do this here? Okay.
I want to sing.
Okay. I can leave the stage. And
Do you know what?
10
Do you know
minutes.
what? Do you know what my favorite song of yours is? Addict of Magic.
Is it really?
And I remember it's one of those songs that the first time I heard this, I'm being serious. First time I heard it, I had to type the lyrics into Google to find out who that was by.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's
Right.
a very, very catchy, soulful type song. I like that.
Well, you could do that one with us. That has a shaker in it. So that could be the song.
Yeah, no, I don't want to play the shaker.
Yeah, but Andrew's going to play the shaker. So you need to do something
I don't
else.
want him to be
It's
on
just
in
you,
my
okay,
bit.
okay.
I don't want him to be in my bit.
Okay.
It's all about Andrew.
Okay.
It's about me.
Okay.
You're a Belsonic gig.
Yeah,
It's about
it's
me.
about you. Yeah. Okay.
Like I'll be honest, like I remember being at a wedding and hearing All That I'm Needing, which isn't
Take my hand.
to my home, but
Close
I'd say
enough.
All That I'm Needing. In brackets, All That I'm Needing.
Yeah.
And that was played acoustic at a wedding, and I remember thinking, I could do this better than the guy doing it. Not you, the guy who was doing it at the wedding.
I've thought that at every wedding I've ever been to. That song gets murdered at every wedding. It's crazy.
Have you been at a wedding when that's... No.
I've been at a million weddings where that's the song.
And do people know what you do, or people...
Yeah, both has happened. That is I was at a wedding last year, and the guy was insane. The singer from this wedding band, he looked insane. Just everything about him was crazy. And he said to me, he seen me. He didn't know I was going to be there.
Right. Okay.
And then he walked in. and He was like, "Are you playing tonight?"
Right.
I was like, "No, I'm not playing at a wedding tonight." Well, standing there with a pint in my hand, I was like, "No, I'm not playing tonight." And then he was kind of a bit like, "Oh fuck, if they're playing, then what are we going to do?"
Right.
And then he was like, "Oh, that's great that you're here because we're going to finish with Take My Hand tonight."
Right.
And I was like, "Great." So then in my head all night, I don't like being the center of attention. I love on shows and stuff, cool. But at like a wedding or I don't like,
I'm the same.
Getting up and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
so-
you would never go, you guys probably want me to get up and do a bit.
Yeah.
It's like me going, do you guys want me to do a bit of a set here?
Yeah.
It would never happen.
No.
Right.
And yeah, totally. So when I knew it was kind of coming to the end, I walked as far away from the stage as I possibly could, and I stood at the bar at the back.
Yeah.
And he just played the song and pointed at me for 3.5 minutes. It was just like for 3 minutes, just like pointing at me. It was like, I'm playing this for this guy tonight.
Yeah.
And I was just standing up there like, fuck's sake. But that happens a lot. It's because our songs are always like first dance songs and all of that. So yeah, it's happened.
That's
to me
what
a
it
lot.
was at the wedding I was at.
Oh, that song was.
First dance song.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
That's like that is number one, a great song, but that like I feel like I've seen that used in a lot of different things. Whether like there's a tourism ad,
Yeah,
maybe here
possibly.
is for tourism here in the north.
Yeah.
It's used.
Yeah, it could be. I hope.
It's for after the Primark fire. They used it for all the celebrities.
Like, is it like Belfast Back?
Aye, something like that. It was 3 or more.
So sorry, local celebrities sang it.
No, they were doing their thing. It was the backing track for whenever they were like. getting
Belfast
their-
is back because
Yeah.
we had a terrible tragedy when nobody died, but I don't think should it? No, Primark caught fire, which was a tough one for us.
That's a tragedy.
Kind of killed our economy for a while and Spirit.
Yeah.
That was like 5 years ago, more. Yeah,
And they made a video with
never forget.
our song.
Yeah,
Wow, I feel
it's probably why you wrote it.
I
right?
feel honoured. Yeah.
Just in the idea that a Belfast Primark might catch fire.
Yeah.
It'd be a beautiful way to pay respect.
We went and burned it down.
Because the song's kind of like that song's almost like two different genres in one.
Yeah.
Because like the chorus obviously like fast and quite indie, whereas the start is like quite like acoustic and quite pop.
Yeah. Do you know what's weird about that song is, and I found, because like you kind of sometimes go and write with other people.
Yeah.
Which I don't usually do. But I like to sometimes, like I would write for other artists and stuff. I like it then. But when it comes to Picture This, I want it just to be us in the band. Because I see sometimes when you're in the studio writing with someone else, there's a lot of like rules when you're writing, and they're like,
You mean they have their
Yeah,
they're
they
sitting their
have-
ways, you're
yeah,
sitting yours.
yeah, and they're just like, well, you can't really do that. But I'm like, yeah, but it just feels really good. So
Yeah.
I'm not technically minded. I just go off feeling.
Yeah.
And that song is a prime example of that, because that song, the chorus, the two choruses are different.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally different lyrics, which is like, you don't really see that in songs, and it's also just one chord,
Right.
just like played up the guitar. So that song was always like a kind of weird. It breaks all the rules, and I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like,
Yeah.
I've been in like a million studios where like you can't really do that.
Was that the song that would have put you on a lot of people's radar?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that was the song that broke us. It actually went viral on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
That's how we broke. We actually broke on Facebook.
Right. What year?
It was it was October 2015.
Right.
But it was crazy. It was literally, I played that song. I'd only kind of started. I got into music really late, so the first time I sang I was 18, and the band started when I was 20. So it was like this weird. I just grew up playing football.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I had no interest in like. I liked music, but I didn't know I could do it. But I remember I started writing songs, and then when we would be going to the pub on the weekend, we'd be like having drinks in my friend's house before. They'd always ask me to bring the guitar, and I was that guy at the house party playing songs. And I remember before we left, it was just me and my one friend, and he was like, "Can you play me a song that you've written?" And I was like, "Okay." And I played "Take My Hand" for him. And at the end of the song, he just had tears in his eyes.
It's intense when it's just you and one guy.
It was just the two of us in his kitchen. I'm pretty sure he was topless as well, if I remember correctly. And he was just crying. And I was like, "You've had way too much to drink, first of all. And why are you crying?" And he was like, he couldn't believe that I had written a song.
I saw a video of similar to that. It was like Jerry Cinnamon playing a song before he broke. He's like sitting in a park on a summer's day to some of his friends.
Yeah.
And you can just tell, you can feel them go, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's weird. Those moments, that's what happened that night, because I had no intention of releasing that song.
Yeah.
And then the next morning I woke up very hungover with a knock on my door, and it was him. And he drove to my house with a guitar and said, "Come with me. I need you to..." Sounds so suspicious, you don't know what I'm going to say next. No.
Help me find the top.
Yeah. He said, "I need you to come with me, and I need to video record you playing this song, and you need to post it online because everyone's going to love it."
Right.
And I was like, "Right, whatever." Came, recorded the video. And
Where
then
did you shoot it?
it was by this, just like, it was in a Thai where I'm from, just like by the most scenic part of the Thai. It's like a weir with some water.
Right.
And he just took a video of me playing it, and I posted it online, and it went viral, like locally, super viral overnight. And that was how the band actually started, because Jimmy from the band saw it
Right.
online, and he said to me, "Also get in my car and come at me."
You're very easily got into cars.
Yeah. 2 days in a row, they were like, "Get in my car." I was like, "All right." It worked out the first time. And then we went to his studio and recorded it, and like properly, like a full studio version, and then posted it on Facebook. We had to come up with a name for a page, so we just were like, "Picture This." It was the first thing that we thought of.
Right.
We had no intentions of being a band, like.
Yeah.
And then we posted it online, and then the next day after that, it got national radio play. So like somebody from Today FM down south heard it, and then it just like clicked and just flew. It was like literally overnight success. I know a lot of people don't like that term, but for us it just was like.
So it's not like you set up the band and spent years trying to get this. It was like the song hit, then you had to become a band.
Yeah, it forced us into being a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing it against our will for like 8 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We just have to keep going.
How is it? So you just put out the first single from the new album. Is it really difficult to pick? It's supposed a bit like me. Maybe if I think about it like this, so I've got a stand-up special I'm going to release soon.
Yeah.
What's the first clip that you put out?
Yeah, yeah,
It's so difficult to like pick
yeah.
what one. So how do you pick that? Is it a consent like vote amongst the band?
We
or?
picked that. Yeah, we as a band would pick it. Like sometimes the label and stuff would be involved, but not really.
Right.
When it comes to that kind of creative choices, it's always us. But for us, maybe it's different than it is for you in terms of a bit from a special or whatever. It's like they kind of pick themselves.
Right.
It just becomes quite obvious what should be the first one.
And Cars being like the first single being about conversations in cars makes a lot of sense because you're so easily got in the car.
Yeah, it all makes sense now, doesn't it?
The conversations probably that was really easy to get you in. Yeah. But I have been listening to it quite a bit last couple of days, and the song makes a lot of sense because you remember that you did have those conversations.
Yeah.
Like when your mate first passed your driving test, the first one.
Yeah.
You were at that age where you just like talk shit all day and you have grand plans. And all this sort of thing.
It was amazing. Yeah. We've had for us in the band, because I actually wrote that song. That song is about mine and Jimmy from the band's friendship, really.
Right.
Because we spent so much time. He would pick me up, get me into his car, and then drive me to his house. And then when he was dropping me
by
off,
stopping the car,
just opening the door and then whenever he would be dropping, we'd be after spending the night in the studio just making music, and then whenever he'd be dropping me off, we'd always end up just sitting in the car for 2 hours, like just talking about who we want to be and what we want to be and what we want to do and all these amazing kind of ideas, and we just ended up having so many of them, and I always wanted to put it in a song for years, and then we did this time, and it made sense then for that to be the album title, because it was like an all-encompassing kind of, each song on the album kind of feels like a parked car conversation.
Is there a grand plan you had back then that either has come true, like a specific thing you said, let's do this, and is there a grand plan you had that you just didn't go anywhere near?
Yeah, there's probably both. I think for us, the Tree Arena was always like the goal.
Yeah.
But it was always such an unattainable goal in our brains. It was like, there's no way we will ever play the Tree Arena.
Well, I think that's the normal way to think.
I think it is,
like,
isn't it?
It's not for us.
Yeah.
It's not for me, you know.
Yeah, totally.
That's for other people. That's for stars or...
Yeah. Yeah, and like our first show was in the Academy in Dublin.
Right. Which is, by the way, huge for your first show.
Yeah, huge.
There's bands who would kill to play there any point.
Yeah, totally. So we never even thought we'd play the Academy. That's the thing. It was like... because I had heard of people playing the Academy over the years, and we were the first band ever to sell out the Academy on a debut show, so it was like this strange feeling of just like, how is this all happening? And then we went into like 3 Olympias after that, and then we did 5 Olympias, and it just kept going, and it was just this weird feeling. And then when we got to the arena, I remember just standing on stage being like, I actually can't believe we did this. This is crazy that it actually happened. And then that one
of the best shows you ever done?
Yeah, that first we've done the Tree Arena like 11 times now, which is insane.
That's wild.
We did in 2019. We did 5 nights at the Tree Arena, and that was. I remember our management coming to us and being like, "You two have done 4 nights at the Tree Arena. Nobody's ever done 5.
Fuck them."
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? Fuck you two.
Yeah. But that's it's such a, and I got that from being at the John Mayer show. It's such an intimate arena.
It really is.
It feels like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
When it's 11, right?
It's 13,000, I think.
Right.
It was around there, yeah. But it is intimate the way it's laid out, because it's like the SSE is very long. Yeah. And most of those arenas are very long. Yeah. But it is that kind. It feels like a theatre.
Yeah, yeah.
So it always is like the best atmosphere, and we did the 5 nights. I think it was it started a day after my 23rd birthday.
Right.
And it was just like the most insane.
Yeah.
And it's still what everyone talks about. Even like anytime we go into an interview, especially when it's like on the other side of the world or whatever, they're always like, you did 5 nights in the Tree Arena. It's like our label now, which is like a weird thing. But it's also just like, it was the most incredible time of our lives. Yeah. Because it was all still so new to us.
What was it like acclimatizing to being recognised at such a young age? Because like people say asking for a photo or anything like that probably came like quite late for me, if that makes sense.
Right, okay, yeah.
So I already felt like by that point like mature or whatever. Like, does that make sense? Like, I think if I had like blown up, if you like, or got well known in my early 20s,
Yeah.
I think it would have fucked me up a bit.
Yeah, yeah. It was weird because especially back then, I think when the band was starting, I was so introverted
Right.
and I wasn't well traveled,
Yeah.
so I didn't have I had a lot of life experience in my town, and that was kind of the ceiling.
Would Dublin have even felt like a big deal
Yeah.
for you to just be in
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, totally, like a really big deal. And even when we were younger, never went to Dublin. It was like another world.
Yeah.
So it was weird, like starting to travel around. I think maybe because I came up in that kind of social media kind of world.
Yeah.
I kind of had seen it so much that it wasn't super alien in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of knew what it was like, and but it was definitely weird. I had to stop playing football because my last game that I played for my team's called Clamullion FC, and we my last game, after the game, I had to like, there was a queue in the car park from the other team,
Right.
all taking photos with me.
Right.
And I remember at that time being like, this is not fair on the team. It's just weird. It's just a weird kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah, yeah.
And also, somebody's just going to break me up with a tackle.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
going to happen. I need to just stop right now. Quit while I'm ahead.
I didn't do that and got my leg broke last year.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, playing
Yeah.
soccer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But normally I get away okay. Like, you get it. Like, it's fun. Like, nobody's ever been like really rude to
Right.
me because
yeah,
of what I do as a job.
Yeah.
There's a bit of crack. It's never really more than that.
Right. Yeah.
Bar the broken leg, which was a physical crack.
That is.
But I just went back to it. Like, I hung up the boots last year,
Right.
called it a day, rode off into the sunset.
Yeah.
You know, like in a cop movie when they're like, they drag me back in.
Yeah.
I'm back in.
yeah.
I'm back in.
Yeah. Right.
But then this is it.
Okay. This
I'll
season.
probably always say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. You're gonna say that.
Yeah.
It's the buzz of fucking getting one past Yapstam. How are you ever gonna? How are you ever gonna relive that?
I sort of said to him, I didn't say to him after, but I tried to communicate with my eyes. I was like, listen, you've had a great career. Keep your head up. You know, I would hate for this to get in his head at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's played against some great strikers, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
But you'll see in the video when I show you after, he turns his back. He was
Right.
a bit of fear there,
Bit
you know,
yeah,
creeping in. But
past it, yeah,
he's
okay.
74. But,
Yeah.
you know. What, when you do like a press tour for an album, what's the question you hate? Like, what's the number one question you just glaze over as a band? You're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I think when people ask us how did the band start, which
Yeah.
I just explained to you like 10 minutes ago, but you didn't ask.
But I
me.
didn't ask
You
you.
didn't ask me.
Exactly.
But it is nice because I don't know how much you know about us, so it is nice to explain it.
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
same
yeah.
time, you know. But I do think that's like, it's just a question that's always asked, and
Yeah, I know the music. I don't know how the band
Yeah.
started. But now,
yeah,
from a natural conversation, I get that.
it just happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that question's like how.
Yeah, I
And
hate all
it's-
those like stock questions where you get asked on it. But how do you come up with your music?
That is the other one. It's always like, yeah, fucking hell. Do people say
Where
that
do you
to
get
you?
your ideas?
How do you come up with your jokes, and
Yeah.
where do you get your ideas?
Yeah,
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 I can imagine.
how do you come up with that?
Yeah, yeah. How did you think?
I
of
just
that?
think, oh,
Yeah,
just
I'm a genius.
try really hard.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't try
It
hard.
just comes to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it is because you just start to. Do you know what? I feel bad for when we're doing an interview. I feel bad for the rest of the lads having to hear it again.
Yeah.
And I'm always conscious of them, so I'm like, how can I entertain? I'm always I try and think of something funny to say.
Because you don't want to say the same. Like,
Yeah.
I have a 3 Arena story about gigging there with Kevin Hart that I've told
Right.
47, 48 times on
Okay,
podcasts,
yeah.
and I know now people hate it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was hard for me when we were talking about the 3 Arena to not drop that in. But now I sort of have.
yeah, you have.
know?
Yeah, you got there in the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it is. You know, it's like that's why I love doing stuff like this. Like podcasts.
Yeah.
Have been a game changer because
Yeah.
it's a more free conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the thing I hate is when you're on like a radio show and you have 5 minutes and they just
Yeah.
ask you they just hit the points.
Yeah.
You can't get your personality across or your story, or
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't kind of elaborate on anything. It's
Yeah.
always a bit weird.
Yeah.
Podcasts have been great.
See with albums nowadays, like the physical copies, inside the wee sleeve, is there a wee booklet with all the lyrics?
Yeah,
I used to love that.
yeah, me too. And we're actually doing something cool with our album. Is we're doing a book, so an actual book.
Inside the cover,
No, so we're
you
doing
open the CD, and there's a
an
novel.
A4 size book.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, we're doing the opposite, kind of the flip of that. So we're doing a book that looks like a normal book, and when you open the book, there's a CD at the back of it.
Oh yeah.
And then, because we love that physical kind of thing,
Same.
and reading the liner notes
Same.
and all that was so cool. So we did a book, and in the book it's like 200 pages of photos that nobody's ever seen. That like we
Apart
took.
from that one guy,
Yeah, yeah, it's all his photos.
the
Yeah.
German guy seen them.
Yeah, he's seen them. But it's all photos like that we kind of have taken of each other, like they're very personal
Yeah.
photos, and a lot of personal stories that nobody's ever heard before. Because that's stuff that I love when I look into my favorite bands. Like,
Definitely.
so we wanted to do that, and then we have like a physical CD that will have the lyrics and all inside it, and
Yeah.
we're doing vinyl for this one. which is great. I was never like one of those vinyl guys, but then when I heard our album on vinyl, I was like, I actually get it.
I think at the start of COVID, I had a vinyl player I'd never listened to,
Yeah.
and then got it out and love it.
It's great, isn't it?
Because my dad had this was the funnest part of it. My dad up in the roof space had like a big stack
Right.
of records.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, take whatever you want,
Right,
and
class.
it was like the best stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, this is great.
Yeah. It does make a huge difference. Because I was so used to listening to our album just like on headphones or
Yeah.
on my phone, and then when we got the first test pressing, we listened to it in the studio. I was like, this sounds so fucking good on vinyl.
Yeah.
It's crazy the difference.
A guy tried to explain to me about the Beatles. I remember being in a coffee shop and it was a TV producer, and we were talking about music, and he was like, this isn't what he said, but it was something like this. He's like, that'd be like listening to the Beatles in mono, and I didn't know what it meant.
Oh,
I just
God.
burst out laughing. I was
Right,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
imagine that.
Yeah, what a fucking strange
Stereo
thing
would be
to
the way to go. I had no clue what he was talking about.
do. Right, okay, yeah.
But I would love to have like the physical thing is great.
It's great because there was a lot of specials on vinyl and stuff.
Remember a
wasn't there?
double
Comedy?
CD? Oh, that was great.
Double CD.
We
was
doubled the
great.
back openers as well.
We actually did on our album Modern Love that came out in 2019. We did tapes as well. We had cassettes. They had a little moment for like 6 months where they became popular.
Right.
I
I was a big Walkman guy.
Yeah, me too. With CDs.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No. With tapes.
Oh, with tapes.
The CD one I didn't like because if you moved,
Yeah, it would
skipped.
skip and all that. Yeah.
so you would have to just stand, and then you may as well just listen to the CD player.
Yeah, yeah.
It was weird. Plus, it was too much. Like, because with a tape player, you could have You could have the tape player if you're cool,
Right.
strapped on the belt, and then a couple of tapes here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Walking around like that.
Yeah.
And did you have like headphones that go over your head? Those ones.
I'm 35. This was the
Alright.
early 90s,
Okay,
mid 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you if you wanted a CD player, that's taking up one hand.
Yeah.
If you want a bit of selection, that's that's not a strong look.
Yeah.
Having
not.
like a little bit of a case of CDs,
Yeah. That's a lot of effort, isn't it?
so much.
Wow.
Plus they were expensive, the CD player.
All right. Yeah.
I remember we were in Tenerife and our suitcase got stolen. Me and my dad were in Tenerife. I was about 11 and I had loads of CDs in it, but they were CD singles, and we had to write out everything for insurance, like everything that was in the bag.
Right. Okay.
And when I wrote down the CDs I had, I realised I needed to like reevaluate my life. I had Brandy and Ray J, Another Day in Paradise.
Wow. That is a throwback.
Remember,
that is.
you know who that? Yeah, remember
Yeah, yeah,
Moesha,
yeah.
her and her brother,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the guy Kim Kardashian.
That's
mate,
insane.
that they did a cover of Another Day in Paradise. I had
Wow.
that on single, so I had to physically transport that
Oh my
around
God.
Europe. You know?
That's so niche.
Yeah, I loved singles. I was a huge like CD single guy. I used to get a $5 pocket money,
Right.
and you could get a single for I want to say like 2-3 quid
Right.
every
yeah.
week. I bought a single.
Yeah, I missed all that. I think I was just after that. You know.
So
Yeah.
Solid Crew 21 Seconds
What a tune that is.
single.
That's more my vibe now than Rob Thomas. So Solid Crew.
Yeah, well that is the big debate.
Yeah, it's that.
Is it
that
Rob
was-
Thomas
yeah,
or is it So
was-
Solid
it's
Crew?
the Blur Oasis thing, isn't
What
it?
a collab that would be! Oh my god! Have you ever been asked to collab? Like final, I know you guys have to go do more press, but would you?
Yeah,
Have you done any collabs?
absolutely. Yeah, we just did one. There's a guy called Ray Garvey who's actually.
I thought you were about to say Ray J and nearly died. I was like, please.
Yeah, I did a collab with Ray J. Yeah, I did a videotape with Ray J. We did one with Ray Garvey, and he's actually an Irish guy, but
He sounds it.
he's huge. Yeah, he does sound it, but nobody knows him in Ireland. It's
Right.
this weird thing, where he's massive in Germany, Switzerland,
Oh,
Austria.
okay.
So we're actually about to go on tour with him. He's playing arenas over there, and we're going to play with him. And we just released a song with him.
Great.
And we've got another one lined up for later in the year. It's cool. It's nice actually. It's kind of refreshing. It kind of, in a weird way, it takes a bit of pressure off you because
Yeah.
you're kind of sharing it with another artist. But I'd love to do more.
I'll run 5. Final question. I'll run 5 people by, and we'll put the link for the album in the description of this and all that kind of stuff and the Belfast shows. Just clarify, we're doing a bit for the Belfast show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it.
I just feel like I wish I didn't have sinusitis because then I could like give you a couple of lines, whatever,
Yeah.
a couple of bars.
Right.
But
okay.
I just don't want to give you this because then you'll judge me on that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So like it's whatever you guys want. I'm just there to fit in with a band.
yeah. Yeah.
But let's work something.
yeah. We can work something. You
Yeah.
can come to rehearsal maybe.
I don't rehearse.
Okay.
I don't rehearse. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
It will
okay.
just have to be off the cuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can freestyle. It's okay.
Yeah, I will be sending the band take out for a walk. You know that kind of
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
I'll turn a 3-minute track into a 27-minute track. Right, 5 collaborations. Here we go. No, I'll run these people by. You say
Okay.
yes or
Go
no.
for it. Yeah.
DOD, Daniel O'Donnell. I'm being serious. Like Daniel wants to do something.
You're being serious?
Yeah.
No.
No. That would be great.
It would be insane.
Daniel goes, I just jump on the course. Daniel just
You know
wants
what?
to
It would be
jump on the
great.
course.
It would be great crack. It would be good.
But you
fun.
won't do it.
No.
I think you're silly for that, but Missy Elliott.
Yes. Absolutely. That would be a strange collaboration, but yes.
Samantha Mumba.
Yeah. That would be a great one. She needs a comeback.
Yeah.
She was a legend.
She needs to get together with New Radicals guy.
Yeah, that would be a great
You can write
combo.
her song.
Yeah.
Suicide Crew.
Yes.
Jamelia.
It was random 5 people ever. Yes, but now I feel bad for Daniel O'Donnell because
It's wild that you would.
I went
it's
for
a
all
yes
the
for
R&B.
Jamelia and a no to the national hero that is Daniel O'Donnell. Daniel would kill it. That'd
He
be
would do
great.
it. Yeah, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could seriously do it. If you want me to give you a serious answer, but then again, like me, picture this in So Solid Crew is never going to work, is it?
Well, wait till Basonic when it's picture this Shane Todd, Andrew Ryan, and Jamelia.
Yeah, the group that nobody ever asked for. It's going to be amazing.
I love chatting to you. This was great.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm a
thanks.
genuine fan. I love the podcast.
Oh,
and
thank you.
It's cool to do it.
Thank you. It's going to be cool to have another member of the band, but but it should be fun. I just to point out, I just want to do Belfast.
Okay, just Belfast. You're not coming on. Okay,
Sorry.
because Andrew asked for the whole tour.
Yeah, he's like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm being serious. Don't let him in.
Okay.
Don't.
But I actually think
You know, at a house party when like it's like 4 a.m. and a guy just shows up
Yeah.
and someone's looking at you like, don't open that door. Be careful.
Okay.
Be careful.
That's his vibe.
Be careful.
Okay.
But thank you so much. The album comes out. It's out now by the time we release this.
Okay.
And the Belsonic shows are in the summer.
It's on the 8th of June.
Day after my birthday. We have soccer raid the next day.
Oh yeah. Wait. What day? Soccer day?
9th
Soccer?
of June.
The 9th of
We're
June.
playing on 9th of June.
Perfect.
That's going to be a great weekend.
Great few days for you.
My wife's birthday on the 7th.
Really?
Wild.
What a week.
What a weekend it's going to be.
That's gonna
Ryan,
be
thank
great.
you so much. Really appreciate it.
Nice one. Thank you.
Let's get ready for tea with me.